Hi, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you the modification of one denim top which I had actually bought. Now that top became it tore from certain places because denim is processed fabric and all, and this is how it tore, as you can see in the video. And it was one of my favorite tops. It is one of my favorite tops. I had hardly worn it one or two times. I didn't like its pattern completely, but I liked the soft fabric. I liked the fall and the feel of the entire fabric. And then because it tore, I decided that I will repurpose it, recycle it, and create a new design out of it. And I created two designs. I put these two images on YouTube for poll, on Instagram for poll, and every majority of the people voted for this design that you can see on the screen. So based on that, I will be making this design. I will be recycling this top, and I'll show you how I will do this. Now, also to tell you that I generally teach fashion designing and I do pattern making based on formulae. I have never done a drafting directly on a fashion figure or a dummy. Okay, so this is my first attempt, and you are able to see this video only because this attempt was successful. So I'll quickly share how I did this, and yeah, let's see this video. So, like I said, that I have the way I do drafting and the way I teach fashion designing and pattern making is through formulae, right? I have never done a pattern making which is done on a dummy directly. But this is the first time that I am going to do this, and I am going to share with you how it is. Obviously, if you are watching this, then it is successful, right? So let's do it now. See, this is a size 12 dummy. This is not of my size, right? My size is a little bit different. The main difference is the shoulder. The shoulder of this is very big, but I'm not worried about that because the pattern that I showed you, it was already stitched. It was a ready-made thing which I am now modifying a bit. So that shoulder which was there is fine, and in anyways the design that I shared with you, the shoulder would be much less. So we'll see that later. But what is most important is the bust line. Okay, the bust line of this one is 38 and half, and that of mine is 39. So there is only a difference of half inch, which is like still manageable because it is not a very fitted top. It is more on a it has got good amount of ease. Okay, but the main thing is the bust. The bust of this one, as you see, is 39 inches. Okay, the bust of this is 39 inch. However, my bust size is the lower bust that we call. So the bust is same almost. The lower bust is 41 inch. So I want to modify this, okay, because rest I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the waist because, as I mentioned, the top was already done and little bit of modification is what I'm going to do. The waist of that top was perfect for me, so I'm not going to modify the waist as much. Okay, what I want to do is the design, which is the princess line, and I want to see that it falls in the right place. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify the bust. So to modify the bust, what I am doing first is I will be adding, these were like pads which were lying with me. Okay, these are not fresh pads, new pads. We have experimented using these a lot earlier also. So I'm going to pin these two busts here first. Okay, so let me just do that, and then let me share the measurement with you. Okay, so as you see, I have put the one pair of bust here, the pads here. So let me quickly show you what the measurement is right now. Okay, so the measurement now is 40 inch. So I'm still short by 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I have another pair of these pads, so I'm going to use these also. So if you have seen, I have not done anything. I've just pinned it with the fashion figure, with the dummy. I've just pinned it using two pearl pins. Okay, I'll put these two also, and then we'll see the final measurement. So now I have put another set of these pads here. So now let us see the final measurement. Hopefully now it will be around 41 inch. Yes, see, now it is 41 inch exactly. So now I'm okay. This is the size that I want. As I said, the the bust line is almost similar. It's just a difference of half inch, so that can be managed. I'll be able to manage that. Waist I'm not worried about, because you'll see the top already has its waistline, and I'm not worried about it because it was fitting me properly. Now I'll put the top here, and then we'll do the marking, and then we'll see the rest. Okay, let's quickly see that. Okay, so I have put the yoke of the top on this. Now I have, as you see, I have removed the sleeve. I have opened up the side a little bit. Okay, so now I have not opened it completely. Little bit is what I have opened. So you see it was quite loose. Okay, so I'm okay with this kind of, that is the kind of design. It has a good amount of ease. Now the problem was that this fabric, it tore very badly. If you see, it tore very badly around the seams, so that is why. And I love this top, so I didn't want to throw it away. That is why I'm modifying. Now what we will do is we will do the marking. Okay, as shown in the design that I have thought for this, I want a princess line. So I want the princess line not to be very high or nor very low. So I wanted to start from somewhere here. Okay, and then go on top of this. See, this is the bust, so little bit on top. So when I actually wear it, if it is a little bit on the side, I'm perfectly okay with that. But here I am going to take it like this. Okay, and then go straight. That is one mark that I will be doing. Based on using this mark, then I will mark it on the other side. So that is what I'm going to do for the front side. I'll be using tailor's chalk for that. Okay, so let me quickly do that. So as you can see, I have already done the marking. Okay, now this is 5 inches below the shoulder. I have taken it there, and I have done the marking. I didn't want it a steep curve. I have made a very soft curve, and I have marked it till here. Okay, there are no darts. There were no darts, so I'm not going to put any dart here at the waist. I'm going to add about half an inch dart around the arm side. Okay, and this is the part which is going to get discarded. Same way I will use this, and then I will mark and cut the other side also. Okay, now let's quickly see what I'm going to do. Now here around the shoulder, as shown in the image, we will actually change the pattern on the back side, right? This is the back side, and I had put a poll on Instagram where you people as per the poll, the majority of the people selected this design. I'm putting the image of the design that you people have selected. So based on that, I will be modifying the back side also. Okay, so let me quickly mark that and show it to you. So if you can see the marking, I have done a rough marking. So from here, that's the shoulder. Okay, I will remove the top from the dummy, and then I'll mark it with a straight line. This is just a rough thing that I have made. Okay, and this part again I have marked. Okay, because this is the part that I will be using to cut out the other off-white fabric that I had shared earlier. And so I marked it so that I get a basic idea as to where the what is the length of this side. And obviously it gets because I have to align it with the front side also, right? So this marking is done. Similarly, I will mirror this marking on this side also, and I'll cut out all the pieces, and then I will show it to you. I cut out the marking that I had made on one side, and then I placed it on the other side carefully. Okay, I aligned the seam, I aligned the arm side and the waist, and I placed it properly, and then I cut it on the other side also, taking care that everything is properly aligned, because once cut, then there is no way that it can be undone, right? Now once it was done, see, the both the parts of the princess line are done. On the back side also, I cut out this portion, as you can see on the left hand side. This is exactly what I will place on the off-white fabric and cut out a similar piece. Only thing is I will be adding seam allowance, and exactly same way I'll cut on the other side also, that is the right side. So this is how it's finally looking after cutting the the sides for the princess cut, and the back as well. Now if you see, I have to adjust the shoulder. So in the design I had showed that I would take this in like this. Okay, so that is what I am going to do, and same way I will do it on this side also. Yeah. So this is the fabric that I am going to use, and since it is net, it's pretty see-through. Although it can be used without lining, but I'm going to use lining. I don't want to leave anything to imagination. So I have cut it out. See, on both the sides I used this itself to cut it out. Yeah, so this is what I had removed. I used this only to cut it out, and I have added margin also here. Around 1.5 inch margin is what I've added. I've added a dart also in this piece, in the fabric. Based on this only I will cut the net also. Okay, now for the back side also, see, that was the part that I had cut off, so I have used that itself to cut the back side also. Okay, now I will be finishing all of these, and I will stitching them with the main piece, and then we will finish the armhole, and then we'll see how it goes. So I have placed the lining, okay, neatly. So in most of the cases, if you cut the lining first, it becomes very easy to cut the main fabric, because if you see, I have tried to place them very symmetrically. And first thing is, if there are two parts on two sides of the body, you need to face them opposite sides together. Otherwise, you will get incorrect cuts, and fabric will be wasted. And as you see, here I have tried to make sure like this. Here the point is ending at this side, and same way I will adjust it a little bit more so that the point adjusts, ends. There is a little bit of gap. I'll pull it a little bit more so the point will end here. So basically what you see, the kind of pattern that is there in the fabric, I'm trying to mirror it on both the sides. Okay, same way what I have done is for the back side also. If you see, it's very symmetrical. The way that I have put it is very symmetrical, and here also, if you see, it's ending here halfway through this, and here also it's starting here halfway through this, the pattern on the net. So you have to follow the same principle, that they have to be opposite sides facing each other, otherwise you will get incorrect cuts. So now I have placed everything very much side by side. So if you see, my wastage of the main fabric will be very less. And why I was able to do this, because I have already incorporated the seam allowance and the margin, everything in the lining itself. So it's not a problem if I place them cut to cut and then I cut them. So now I will simply cut these, and then we will move to the stitching part. As you can see, I have cut the main fabric also. Okay, and this main fabric I will attach. It is right now not attached with the lining. Okay, so I will just do a normal stitch. I will attach it so that it is easy for me to work with it. And once I have attached, so this is one piece. For the back, that is one piece, and this one is another piece. Now once I have attached them with the lining, then I will attach it with the this main body. Okay, and then I will do the finishing of this entire stretch from here till there. Okay, I will also be adding something here. I'll show it to you what I want to add. Also what I want to say is, see, this part here, it is going in a bias, right? It is, the fabric is bias here. So what happens, it stretches a lot. Even after stitching, it will stretch. So what I will be doing, it was cut as per the fabric that I had got when I cut this back part. What I will do, it when I will stitch, I will take it a little bit at an angle like this. Okay, so what will happen when I do that, when I push it a little bit inside, then even if it stretches a little bit, it will get compensated. So around half an inch only from here, I will take it inside, not there. Okay, not at the waist, because my waist has a fixed size. Okay, only here I will take around half an inch inside to compensate for the stretch that I get because of the bias cut here. Yeah, so that is what I will be doing. So once I have stitched, I'll iron it a bit, and then I will show you the finishing of the rest of the things. So I've attached, for all these pieces, I've attached the lining with the net. Okay, now remember, net has a tendency to stretch. Okay, it expands a bit, so while stitching it is possible that it will be a little bit more from some of the sides. So what you need to do is, you need to cut it off as per the shape or the size of the lining, because lining is not stretchable. We have not taken stretchable fabric obviously for lining, so that is the perfect size. So you need to cut off anything extra if it's there. Okay, same way I have attached the lining to the back pieces also. Okay, we'll see these later. Now here, what is the thing? This is the front side, right? And we need to attach this here, right? And we need to attach this one here. Let me zoom out and show it to you. Yeah, so as you can see that we will be attaching, this is the front side, so this is what we will attach here, and this one is here. So when we see, it looks very normal, okay, fine, very easy, but when you have to attach, it has to be the right side in. So the moment you turn, you're like, okay, now how do I attach, right? So it's very simple. What you have to do is, you need to pin it to this. Make sure that it is the lining part and everything is properly aligned, and see here, this is where it is turning. So pin it up here as well. Generally in princess line we make notches especially for blouses and all. This is a pretty simple one, so there was no need, and it was like we were using a ready-made garment already. So now we will pin it. Make sure that when you are pinning, there are no folds in between. Yeah, so it's properly aligned. Okay, so see, this is how I have pinned it. Okay, the shape was different, but this is how you need to pin. Similarly, I'll pin the other side also, and then I will stitch it. Okay, once I have stitched both the sides of the front side, I'll show. The back side is pretty simple, okay, because it is a straight edge, so there isn't much to it. Okay, so I will just put the wrong sides together, okay, right sides together, and stitch it, and once I stitch, it opens properly. Okay, same way I will stitch this also. I will put the right sides together, and I will put a stitch here. Once it is stitched, I turn, and it will be proper. Fine. So let's first do the front side. I'll finish the back side also, and then I will show it to you. Because of the change in pattern, I was left with this sleeve. Okay, so obviously there are two sleeves. Now if you see, the edge of the sleeve is very nice. I really don't want to throw this away, or I don't want to waste this. So what I am planning to do is, I am planning to add this near the shoulder. So this is the neck, okay, and sorry, near the armhole. So this is the shoulder, this is the neck. So I'm thinking of adding this, like some kind of design element would be there, which would be like, because this is in cut narrow shoulder, so this will partly lie on the shoulder and will kind of look like a cap sleeve. So this is what I'm planning to do. So I'll simply cut it this way. So obviously I will not cut it here, I want this much out, so I will keep seam allowance, and I'll cut this one like this, and I'll do the same for the other side also. I'll stitch it normal way, like inside, right side facing inside. I'll put a stitch, and then I'll see how it looks. So I just wanted to see how it's actually looking, so I've put it on the dummy again. So I've just pinned it. See, I've just pinned it. Okay, I've not even stitched it. I just wanted to see how it's looking, and this is how it is on the back side. Okay, so we will obviously be finishing all these parts, and It's looking decent, it's looking nice, not bad. So I think I'll proceed with this. So similar thing, whatever is here, I will do it on this side also. And let's see, it's looking pretty neat, I think. Let's see. As you can see, I have attached the princess line. I have attached this small section to give it more like a cap sleeve look. Okay, and one thing I had forgotten was, before adding this on the back side, I should have finished it. I had forgotten that, but I did this finishing, and this is also called facing. Okay, this kind of finishing also called panel finishing. Okay, so shaped finishing is what I used here. And then what I did was, here the armhole for the front side, see, the armhole for the front side is pretty rounded, right? It is round. So I used something called binding technique. Okay, so binding technique is also called in Hindi cross patti. That is the technique I used. For that you have to cut strips in diagonal or in bias, and then I attached it. So you see that I finished it. I started from here, then I went over the entire top part of the armhole, so over the shoulder and here, and then I finished it till the waist of the back side. So it looks as clean on the inside part as it is clean on the outside part. Okay, and for another thing that I did for the front side, so for the back side, I had taken the binding all the way till the waist, but for the front side, the binding came under the armhole. So what I did for this part, I have done normal overlocking. Okay, I have done overlocking for this part. Yeah. So now what I will do is, I will attach the sides. The way it was attached was, the sides were done first, and then the peplum part was attached to this garment. That is how it was, I bought it. Okay, so if you remember, I had kept quite a bit of margin here, so I am going to take that margin around 1.5 inch, and I am going to stitch it, and then on both the sides I am going to do that, and then I am going to attach this peplum part. Okay, then once it is done, this is attaching is very simple. The right side will be in, and then once it's done, I'll show the final look. Let's see that. So this is how the top is finally looking after all the modifications. Okay, so this is the princess line, and this is as per my size. So as I had showed that, I had added extra pads to the 12 size dummy, and this is the finishing of the armhole, and this is how the back side looks. Now this pattern is something like a racer back kind of a pattern. Now it's looking like that, but I think that this will be little bit more deep as per my convenience, generally what I wear. But I'm still okay with that, because the pattern is something which is a little bit more you can say racer back kind of a pattern. But yeah, overall I'm happy. I'll wear this, and I'll show that as well. So that was how this top was created. I really liked the outcome. Do comment below, and let me know if you liked this modification that I did. And if you liked this video, do hit on the like button, do subscribe to my channel, and I'll come up with another project shortly. See you in the next video. Bye bye.